Okay, you're welcome. Once again, Teacher Roman Mgendawala here. I've been so concerned by a number of things that are happening globally. First of all, we've had a number of issues that are happening. I was asking myself a question that how many times are we going to keep like this? We're Africans. The xenophobic activities that are happening within South Africa are so concerned. I, a person who knows partly the history of South Africa and how they've been through a turmoil, to see to it that fellow Africans are being treated the way it is happening, it is really touching me. I was touched as a Pan-Africanist who could not wish to see fellow Africans being butchered the way it was done by fellow South Africans. I know I've got friends in South Africa, in Pretoria, in Cape Town. I've got friends there, but I'm so concerned. It may not be a collective move by the whole of South Africa, but the orchestrators who are doing whatever they're doing, to the extent of having seen my fellow Ugandans being put on a plane and brought back. There would be a more formidable way how things should have been done, in my opinion. I give my humble opinion as Ugandan. You remember the wars that were fought, ranging from the Anglo-Boer Wars, 1880s to 1890s, Second Anglo-Boer War, and First Anglo-Boer War, ended with the signing of the Vereeniging Peace Treaty in 1902. We thought a lot had been learned because after the Boers and the British went into an agreement, they agreed to unite themselves against Africans. And I believe Africans were pressed and the rest of Africa was concerned to the extent that after some time, 1910, the Act of Union was signed to unite the Boers and the British against the South Africans. There were the Zulu, the Xhosa, the Shona, the Ndebele, among others. Africans reached an extent of forming a political party which later came to be known as the ANC, the African National Congress. I mean, when I look at all this as a Pan-Africanist, I'm really touched and I'm flabbergasted, to be honest. 1948, apartheid was made legitimate. It was made legal under Dr. Malan, who was the governor of South Africa by that time. You remember very well how the Boers connived that was sent by God, their descendants of the blessed son of Noah. Remember all that. Africans were pressed to the wall. If a Mandela could arise right now, he could be so astonished seeing fellow Africans treating fellow Africans the way they're doing it right now. This gentleman was incarcerated for 27 years, put in Communicado, and he could not come to speak to his people for 27 years, dying for the freedom, the rights of the people of South Africa. Are the people who are doing whatever they're doing aware of what happened in the past? Sometimes history is not just studied and leave it in the books, but we live it. We live by history. If Nelson Mandela, 1994, becomes the president of the independent South Africa, and he says, I'm ruling for 5 years and retires, I mean, if he could resurrect from the dead today, I know his spirit is seeing all this. When I look at Uganda, to be particular, one of the countries that Mandela loved so much was Uganda. People didn't know that. To the extent that our government here named a national stadium after that great man. Very many African countries, even if you go to global states, they talk about him. I'll beg that Africa deserves better. And I believe those are our brothers. Much as we may have the Afrikaners still, because South Africa after independence, we never chased away. But what I'm seeing is that the fellow Africans are the ones that are doing that. I felt I should say something about what is happening there, because this one has nothing to do with with chasing away. Even if you do not love to see Ugandans or Nigerians or Ghanaians there should have been a more formidable way of how things should be done. I mean, what has the international law reduced itself into? I mean, what do human rights mean to some people? I don't really believe that is okay. I saw a video of a Ugandan who was crying. He was in the house and he was crying for help. He could not access any groceries at home, nearby his home. He could not access anything. And the way the plane was picking them as if they were thieves being taken out of. We have many of them here. We have the companies here. I don't want to mention them. They are manned by our fellows. We don't have any problem with you as Ugandans, and we don't have it at all. So may we come to sanity and think about whatever we're doing in a right way. If people like us don't speak about such things, who is going to speak about them? Thank you so much, Teacher Roman. I gave my humble opinion, and we don't have any problem with our brothers. Just a mere hearing that you speak a different accent from theirs is enough for you to be haunted. And why should we have that? I really don't see that in a civilized world that we are living today. Blacks are everywhere. Even the European countries have embraced us. If you go to France, you may think it's an African country. If you watch the World Cup and you saw how France players, one of the most skilled players as we speak is Kylian Mbappe. But look at that gentleman. That gentleman is purely African, much as he has citizenship of France as we speak. Look at him. Africans are the ones that birth such people of his color. Look now, for example, Uganda is a former colony of UK, of Britain. But look at people that play for Britain. Look at Bukayo Saka and the rest of. So I don't really buy a notion of a country as carrying out xenophobia on the whatever phobia it is. I would ascribe to the thinking of Honorable Musida, though I'll not be so much in support with what he was suggesting, that we vandalize their property as well. We could not do that, but we could sit. I mean, we need each other. We need to sit on a round table and see things move. I thank you. I'll see you in my next segment, talk about the same issue. God bless you, Teacher Roman. Sorry for those that I've annoyed.